Yes.
Cal, you got to do anything different with this bad weather, or does that not affect you guys at all?
What bad weather? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ice storm coming to Dallas.
We're going to Dallas?
Coming to, we'll hit Dallas while we're all down there.
Can we postpone the game for a month? Because if it were postponed, we'd have to wait about a month and a half before we play a ranked team.
Matthew said that you called him and proposed the doubleheader. Can you just talk about how that came about and why you decided to include the women's team?
Well, this is not just about a basketball program, this athletic department. And it's about a lot of athletes, from all the different sports, and anywhere we can come together and help each other, it's good. I think to bring our listen, you're talking about two highly ranked women's programs. And I told the story to Mark Stoops about why don't we do all three. And he told Matthew, said, why don't you do Baylor or Notre Dame with us? And he said, how about we do Connecticut? But no, this should be a good trip. Both programs, we're following each other. We're trying to help each other. I stop in his office. He stops in my office. I stop in his practice. He stops in my practice. The job he's done here in the environment of a Tennessee, and all of a sudden you're getting overwhelmed by this stuff, and now all of a sudden you're the team that's overwhelming. It's great.
You know the football team's playing Louisville at the end of the year now. Can you get that triple header worked out?
When are they playing them?
After Thanksgiving, starting next year.
It's really early.
John, their game, Baylor's game against Syracuse, they controlled most of that game. What did you make out of that one? What did you see there?
The games I've seen, they're really long, they're really athletic, they're a talented team. They play both man and zone. Their zone is really effective. My feel is they'll play us 95% zone. They play it different ways, but they're like us. They're so long that you're not getting the looks you think you'll get in that thing. But the good news is just about every team has played a zone. And the one thing I want to tell you, there's a cohesiveness to playing this game. And against man-to-man, we don't seem to be as cohesive as we do against zone. And my answer to you would be because you have to pass it against zone. You can't just come down and make a play. You got to pass the ball, move it inside, kick it out, drive it, do it. And all of a sudden, we become a cohesive team. So I really don't care that people play a zone. That's fine. It makes us come together. And it also showed me on our offense, we got to pass the ball a little bit more. Now, there's a difference in transition you go, but, in half-court offense, we got to pass it some.
Cal Julius said, he's always been double and triple team, but in high school it's different kinds of defenders. How's he adjusting to just bigger guys, double and triple?
The only thing I said, quit trying to be perfect. You're trying to act like you should make every play. Just stop. Just play harder than the other guy. Just worry about that. Don't worry about anything else. I can't make this shot. I missed that shot. So what? Doesn't matter. But he's doing fine. He's doing fine.
You mentioned in Brooklyn you thought he was getting roughed up a little bit. Has he done a good job maintaining his composure?
Well, I was on a conference call with a bunch of coaches yesterday, and they're talking about the rules. And I said, scoring, is up 6 points per game at this time last year. So don't talk about conference play and all. The games that were played to this point last year, scoring's up 6 points. How much of that is free throws? Under 50%. So scoring is up. It's doing what it's supposed to. The absolute head and shoulders by the guy, contact is a foul on the defense. I raise the ball and you're not standing there two-footed, it's a block. Okay? How about another absolute? If you throw it in the post and the man moves the ball to shoot and you come down, it's an automatic foul. Why not add that? If he's holding it and you grab it out of his hand, it's okay. He goes to score and you come down, automatic. Now, when I told the coaches, one chuckled and I said, I am being self-serving now. But I think it eliminates me or anybody else worrying about Did you hit his arm? Did he grab him? Did he grab instead of hit? It eliminates it. So anything we can take out of the official's hands and make it out, it's an absolute. You just call it. They now get rated, and it's very simple. That's an absolute. Why didn't you call that? Well, I thought, whoa, 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 you don't have to think. It's an absolute. As soon as you see it, blow that whistle. So there are still things, I think, to clean up this game. I like the way the game is being played. Faster, more scoring. You can't foul on every possession. You can't foul 4 times on the same possession. You can't anymore. Unless the crew is going to get penalized. They won't be in the NCAA tournament. You referee a game like that, you will not be in the NCAA tournament. So
Good chuckle.
I couldn't tell because it was a phone call.
You talk about just playing in Cowboy Stadium and that atmosphere, the Final Four type atmosphere, and what that does.
Yeah, we're not going to have 80,000 there, but you know, my hope is that because of the games that are being played, everybody's ranked. It's going to be a terrific environment. And then to play in that building, I haven't been in the building, but everybody tells me it's just ridiculous. They're moving the court to one side, but the court will be raised, so it'll be like that kind of environment. But I'm excited. Look, we need to play another ranked team to find out where we are at this point. It's not about winning and losing. You want to win every game. It is about, let's just keep learning where we need to go with this team.
Is this the best any opponent you've played so far has been able to match your length?
No, Michigan State had some length. They were long. I mean,
7-footers hitting threes.
yeah, well, they're different, but they were big. They had 2 big guys in there, and their wing was big and athletic. So,
Cal, will you guys get in a couple of times before to just shoot in that place and see what it's like?
we'll practice in there Thursday and probably shoot around Friday. So we'll have two looks, and the women will be the same.
Do you have any concerns about that, about just them adjusting to how big it is and trying to shoot in it?
No.
Do you feel like Julius and the Twins and those guys are overly excited, or maybe feel more pressure going home in Texas? They're going to have family there watching them.
I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet. We're so focused on us right now. We haven't talked Baylor at all.
How concerned are you about John Hood at this point? What's his status?
Well, you know, again, because I was there when it happened, and he practiced later, but he had headaches. And I know our doctors, and I trust our doctors. They are going to be really conservative in what we're doing here with him. And so I am concerned, but I'm also knowing he's in great hands, and no one's going to ask him to do something that he should not do.
When you said you seem more cohesive against a zone than man-to-man right now, is that unusual for one of your teams at this point in the season?
I don't know, but what's happened is the zone is making us pass the ball. So we're playing off of one another way better. In the man, we don't seem to pass it as much. We hold it more. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I didn't realize until I'm watching the tape. So we have to, then against man, you have to pass it more. If you don't have an easy play, get rid of it. Move the ball.
Is that what hurt you in the first half, the other night's first? Turnovers, holding the ball too long? Or?
I don't remember. You're talking the Providence game?
Yeah, I think you had like 6 or 7 turnovers.
We had a couple guys had the majority of them, so the rest of the team I don't think was that bad.
In Chicago tonight, you guys came out slow at the start, then you go to Brooklyn, played well at the beginning of the game. Is this, you look at this sort of a measuring stick for the neutral site, kind of a tournament environment for this team where they are?
I just, it starting, it's, you know, I want to see how we play. Obviously, we started better last game, and we're more aggressive. But, you know, this is about, are we playing with energy throughout? How many times do we stop? Whether we're on offense or defense, do I pass the ball and I stand straight up and I get the ball and I walk because I have to take it down before I drive? How many times on defense do I just stand straight up and my man runs off a screen and I go, oh? How many times do we have that happen? It's narrowing from 50 times a game to 20 times a game. Now, you really want to be good. Every minute you're in there, you don't stop. You play until you sub yourself. But we've got a ways to go.
Last question.
What kind of things are you appreciating about what Willie's doing now? Just playing defense, running the floor, and anything in general?
Well, I asked the team, you know, why do you think Willie played that way? Why is he now coming into his own? One guy said, well, he's not thinking out there. I said, well, you can say that, but you got to think. It's a statement you don't think. That's not true. He's reacting better, and I'll tell you why. Because he's practicing like crazy. He is attacking practices which make the games easier. We have other guys that the practice is attacking them every day. One guy shut it down. I can't breathe. And they looked at his heart rate, and it was at 82%. Well, then you have a lung disease. Okay, so it's not, you just can't push through the comfort level. There are times that I have a couple guys, their heart rate gets in the 90s, and I tell them, they'll tell me, 94 who? Willie, step off, Willie. Step off, Dominique. Another guy, we should be, what's it? 74. What? What are you doing? Get off. Go on a treadmill. Get his heart rate up. But everything like leg work. My legs are burning. That's how they're supposed to feel. That's the feeling. How do you push to where you can't? We had EJ, who people were coming in watching him saying he should be all conference in track in the SEC. I had a football coach come in and say he could play in the NFL, EJ. So he does a leg drill that we're doing. He does it so hard he practically falls down, and the team's watching. That's how hard you go. That's how much you push it. It's all new. This stuff is all new. We're doing drills that 8th grade, they should have been doing in 8th grade that they obviously didn't. But I'm not going to get ahead of schedule with this group. We are what we are right now.
What kind of things will he do on a
It's just, whatever it is, the last part of every drill, he's going like he's no tomorrow. Versus other guys looking at the clock trying to get through the drill. There's a difference. You finish the drill, the hardest part is those last 7, 8 seconds. And the other guy's looking at the clock. Did I get through the clock? Well, you're not going to get better. What got you here won't get you there. You've got to change. And so some guys are changing. Willie's changing. Other guys are not. And it's until they accept they got to change, they won't. But all in all, I've been really pleased. I'm dragging this team faster than they need to go, yet taking some things back to the very elementary things that they needed to be doing when they got here. Thanks, folks.